Hello everyone. This is a no save, no damage run of Resident Evil 1 Classic, PC version, Chris, original mode, best ending, with a completion time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 54 seconds. On the PC version, there's only one mode, and of course 2 characters to choose from, Jill and Chris, with the former being easy and the latter being hard. On the PC version, doors are skippable, but cutscenes are not. Best ending refers to saving both Rebecca and Jill. You have to make the correct choices to make sure Rebecca survives, and you have to get 3 ammo discs to release Jill from the holding cell in the lab. Getting the best ending, or at least a good ending, as long as Rebecca makes it, means you'll have to fight the Tyrant at the Heliport. A quick overview of Chris's scenario. It's definitely more difficult than Jill's. Only 6 inventory slots instead of 8. No lockpick, so he has to pick up the sword key and desk keys. Doesn't have Barry, can't get the shotgun early, can't mix the V-Jolt or play the piano. Rebecca helps with the V-Jolt and piano and provides healing, but that's not relevant in a no damage run. We have control of Chris running through the dining room into the tea room to see Kenneth and the famous turning around zombie. Kenneth has not 1, but 2 handgun magazines. And sometimes I can get it right to where I can grab both and get out before getting grabbed. But in this case, I wasn't able to, so I'm just luring him around a little bit, creating some space so I can grab those handgun rounds. I could pause cancel and knife him, but I don't like to do that, so I just like to run around instead.
Wesker? Jill? What happened to Jill and Wesker?
Back in the main hall, picking up Jill's handgun, her Beretta 92FS. Conveniently fully loaded. It would not surprise me if for Chris it was empty. Going up to the 2nd floor and onto the eastern side of the mansion to start, to the terrace, and go see another Bravo team member, Forrest, just picking up the handgun magazine in front of him. Actually interacting with Forrest on this mode will cause crows to spawn, and we don't want that. Ignoring the small key. And into the C passage. For the first few Zeds that I encounter, I like to knock down with the handgun and then use the knife, just to save a little bit of ammo. Not like ammo is really a concern for this game, but with this route I tried to be efficient, so I didn't go and pick up way more ammo than I needed without running dry at the same time. And I do end up almost out of ammo at the end, but I still had at least 1 full magazine for both the handgun and the shotgun. So I accomplished the goal of being efficient. Cutting through the small library into the eastern stairway, ignoring these 2, going down the stairs. He's got an arm off. Now, sometimes this one seems to have a wider HP variation than the others. Sometimes he'll go down and stay down in like 2 shots. But still, this one didn't take much at all. The mansion storeroom, picking up the chemical. First item box. Little rearranging. Don't need the first aid spray. Everything above the yellow line is useless for the remainder of the run. And that's just how I have it set up. Now I'm going to take these 2 Zeds out. Repeating the process. Knocking down. Getting a knife swipe in. Just shaving off a little HP. Nice. Equipping the knife, since that is what I will be using next. Then running all the way to the dining room, second floor. Pushing the statue with the blue jewel in it. Pushing it into the single zombie over here so I can safely knife him. And what I'm trying to accomplish is getting the statue pushed off the balcony and getting this zombie knifed all before the other one reaches me. And I can normally do that, but this time it was a little bit too close, and I thought about maybe I can get him trapped there. It didn't work, so I just need to reset the room. Now his position is reset, giving us plenty of time and space to get this statue pushed off. Now the west stairway, we have 3 zombies, but they can't grab us. They can only vomit. It has to do with their programming since they are so close to the stairs. Pretty easy to run by. When I started routing this game, I have yet to get hit by the vomit. Downstairs, there are 3 zombies, but we are only taking out this one since he is the one most in the way. The other 2 are easy to run by. The central corridor, we have 3 more. All 3 of them getting taken out. Trying to position myself so I can keep them both in view. Some rooms have some particular camera angles that can make it difficult. There we go. Those 2 are finally down. Got 1 more here. All right, this room is now clear. And into the greenhouse. Using the chemical to get rid of the monster plant in the fountain. Which will allow us safe access to the armor key. Now we're going to the dining room to get the blue jewel. So we can get the first of 4 crests that will get us out of the first mansion section. Back in the central corridor, into the tiger statue room. Using the blue jewel to reveal that wind crest. Later in the game, for Mansion 2, you can get the red jewel, and if you place the red jewel in the tiger statue, that will get you the Colt Python, the magnum of the game. I do not get the Python in this run. With the armor key, unlocking this vacant room, grabbing handgun ammo and the broken shotgun, off of the cabinet shelf here. And running into the save room,
Whoa! What is it?
medical
What?
room, I suppose we could call it,
Oh no!
where we meet Rebecca.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
You must be from the Bravo team.
Yes, I'm Rebecca. Rebecca Chambers. I'm a newcomer. I just joined the Stars Bravo team last month. Well, I'm really sorry. Are you all right?
Yes. I'm Chris Redfield from the Alpha team. Are you the only person here from the Bravo team?
Well, because the helicopter made a forced landing, I just ran into this house anyway, but
I see. There's nothing else you could have done anyway. It's good you're here.
Yes, sir. But it's strange. I serviced the helicopter recently, but something went wrong with the engine. It was such a short flight.
And this is why you don't have your medics also be your helicopter mechanics. We're done with the knife, depositing that in the item box, as well as the broken shotgun and windcrest. We will need those in a little bit.
Well, what should I do now? If you go out to search for the other members, how about letting me come with you?
We're going to say yes.
All right, let's do it.
Yes, sir. I'll do my best. I have to prepare something. Would you like to go ahead?
Saying yes will guarantee the good ending. If you say no, you can still get it, but you have to save Rebecca from hunters later in the game. In the Keeper's bedroom, the sword key, grabbing the handgun magazine, and Chris is obviously unfazed by that pepper spray mace that he took to the face. Genuinely unbothered. Back in the dining room, grabbing the emblem. We're going to do the emblem switch now. Down the hall into the bar with the sword key. If you examine the keys, they will change from mansion key to whatever the name of the key is: sword key, armor key, shield key, or helmet key. But I did not do that, so they're all just going to be called mansion key. Picking up the music notes, Chris unfortunately cannot read, so he can't play piano, like at all.
It's me, Chris.
Is that you, Rebecca?
Ah, it's the Moonlight Sonata.
Can you play? Wait, what is that?
My interpretation is off a little. Chris, may I practice for a while?
We're going to say yes here.
See? Just relax and play.
All right.
This one, it doesn't matter if you say yes or no. She's going to practice regardless. And the only practice time she needs is us running to the main hall and back, and that's it.
Chris! Chris! You like it?
Wow, that was great.
That opens up this little
What is that?
hidden passage. We're going to grab the gold emblem. That is going to lock us in, so we have the regular emblem to get us back out. And we're going to take our shiny new gold emblem, place it on the plaque on the wall. That is going to move the grandfather clock out of the way and give us yet another key. The shield key, which only unlocks one door. And we'll be going there shortly. The main hall, unlocking the dressing room with the armor key, grabbing some handgun ammo inside. Then going into the art room. Nothing in here, just running through, using the sword key. It's all used up, so we can discard it. Running through the L passage. 2 dogs, there's one. There's a second one. Into the winding passage, using the armor key, even though we're not going through that room either. Through the winding passage, and into the back passage. We have 2 Zeds here. There we go. Wrong door. We need the helmet key for that one. Unlocking that door. Back to the save room here. Before realizing I didn't actually need anything out of there, since I changed my routing just a little bit, not grabbing those small keys in Mansion 1. Using the armor key, unlocking that deer room, and then going into the bedroom for a box of shotgun shells. Then to the other side, to the study, where we will get another box of shotgun shells. Pushing the now empty tank out of the way, so we can push this shelf out of the way. Back in the C passage, unlocking but not going into the armor room. The pillar passage, the final armor key door, where we are going to meet Richard. Well, I mean, meet, you know, in relative terms. He has 1 handgun magazine on him. Through the attic entry into the attic itself. This is the one door that the shield key opens up. And now our first Yawn encounter. Don't need to fight Yawn at all. Just waiting till the first lunge. Running all the way to the back. Grabbing the crest. The moon crest, particularly. And then we're just gonna hang out here for a bit. Until Yawn's head crosses that post, that beam, whatever you want to call it. And as soon as the head crosses that line, we're going to run and hug to the right. Yawn's all bound up, giving us plenty of time to run out, grab these shotgun shells off the barrel, and we're out of here. In the armor room, pushing these statues over these holes, these vents. This will prevent poison gas from coming out. And after hitting the red button, provided that the vents are fully covered, we'll unlock this container, which gives us the sun crest. If the gas does come into the room, you do have a few seconds to run out and reset the room before it actually does damage. I tested that by checking Chris's health, and he was still at full health until he actually had a reaction, a physical reaction to the gas. In the art gallery, you do push these portraits in a certain order, ignoring the first portrait because that one is just kind of like setting the scene. For the ones that actually have buttons on them, the order is 245316. So newborn, infant, lively boy, young man, tired middle-aged man, and finally a bold-looking old man. After pressing that order, we go to the last painting, hitting the button, and that gives us the star crest. And a very imposing track. If you get the order wrong and you try to hit the switch under the last portrait, the crows will aggro. In the roofed passage, we have a solitary Cerberus. And I'm hesitant to charge because for some reason the hit detection and the camera angles in this room can get a little awkward. So I'm basically waiting for the dog to be right out in the open and coming towards me. Three crest in. That frees up inventory space for us to get the last crest. And while we're at it, we are going to get the shotgun, since we are very close to the shotgun room. I actually don't need the shotgun for all of Mansion 1, so I save it for last. Cutting through the trap room into the living room, grabbing the shotgun off the wall, and waiting for the hooks to be all the way up before it'll let me set down the broken shotgun. And we're done with Mansion 1. Setting the wind crest in, the final one unlocks the door into the shed, which will give us a crank and a small key. Pushing those stairs so we can get the crank from the highest shelf. And there's a small key on top of the barrel. In the courtyard garden, there are 3 dogs. And here's another room with awkward camera angles, because I'm wanting to lure them towards me, because there are 2 in front and 1 off to Chris's left down that little passage. So I'm trying to aggro them, getting the shotgun out when they get a little too close. There's one, there's two. I'm trying to auto-aim check for the last one. And resetting the room, because he is obviously still further down the passage. Even from this position, auto-aim was not picking him up. But I didn't want to be taken by surprise later, so had to bait him out. There we go. I'm turning before re-aiming to make it very easy to tell, to ensure that Chris is actually locking on, and I'm not wasting shots. At the water gate, using the square crank that we just picked up. And this allows us to cross to the other side. When we climb up this ladder, there are going to be several adders falling from the trees. They're easy to just run by. At the falls, we have 3 dogs. Their positions seem to vary randomly. And it can also be very awkward. Using the shotgun to clear some space, since it can hit more than one at once. That one almost got me, because for whatever reason that shot did not... It either missed, or maybe it just wasn't good hit detection. I'm not sure, but that one came very close. But we got that one stun locked. At the guardhouse gate, we have 3 more dogs. They like to travel in threes, apparently. Except for the 2 in the L passage. And we're just going to walk through, because if we walk and we don't touch them, they do not aggro. Now we are in the guardhouse residence. At the entry, pushing this gargoyle statue, there's going to be a hole that we have to cover up. Otherwise, we are going to be attacked by and take damage from a vine, and we obviously don't want that. The guardhouse save room. Putting away the handgun and handgun magazine. Organize. Got everything we need. Don't need the crank. And I got momentarily confused here because for some reason I thought I needed a room 001 key. But that key does not exist and it never has. 2 Zeds in here. Give the 12 gauge treatment to them. Using the small key that we picked up in the shed to get a box of shotgun shells. There's number 2. Decap. Grabbing the red book off the bed. And grabbing a small key out of a cup here. And into the bathroom to empty this muddy water-filled tub. Which will get us the control room key. Ignoring the rec room, going into the central corridor. And into the beehive room, which is a very large room, very empty. Grabbing the room 002 key, and I don't know why they're using triple-digit room numbers when there are not that many rooms in this. Another desk, another small key, or if you examine the small key, it actually reveals the name to be desk key. I think is a nice little touch. Pushing the shelves out of the way. They go into the basement, where we are going to play a very exciting game of Push the Box. Pushed it 25 times. There is an exact number that you can get for maximum efficiency, but I didn't go for that. And I didn't want to risk pushing one box too far, because then you have to reset the room and redo it all again. Time to get wet. The water tank. There are 3 sharks in here. A large one and 2 smaller ones. Neptunes. As we use the control room key to get into the control room, which has a very obnoxious red flashing light. Pulling the lever will drain the water and stop the red flashing light. Button on the wall, push it to unlock the arms storage room. There are 2 boxes of shotgun shells, 2 handgun magazines, I'm not going to pick those up, and the room 003 key. And here's a fun fact: you can actually just push those Neptunes around. You can just bully them around if you want to. They can't do anything to you. Now it's back to the Beehive passage. And into room 003. Grabbing the V-Jolt report off the bookshelf to free up space for the red book that we picked up earlier. And that unlocks the Plant 42 room.
Rebecca, no, it's no use. The roots of it are in the basement. You can... Oh!
Chris!
Take this file with you. Use the information in it in order to make the potion and kill the root. Rebecca, please.
Chris! Don't die!
Absolute sage advice from Rebecca. Now we get to play as Rebecca. Opening up the drugstore room. This particular pattern is solved with 1, 2, 5, 4. Now we need to make the V-Jolt. We need 3 empty bottles to start. The solution for this puzzle is found on the wall. It'll give you the numbers and then the corresponding colors. With the 3 empty bottles, fill one up with water and one with UMB number 2. Mix the water in number 2 to get NP003. Fill a bottle with UMB number 4 and mix that with the NP003 to get UMB number 7. Fill a bottle with UMB number 2 and another with UMB number 4. Mix those two to get yellow 6. Mix the yellow 6 and the UMB number 7 to get UMB number 13. Then fill one bottle with water from the sink and one bottle with UMB number 2. Mix those two to get another NP003, and then mix the UMB number 13 and the NP003, and that will get you the V-Jolt. With the V-Jolt, now we can run to the basement and weaken Plant 42. And that will allow us to finish the fight with Chris. In the meeting room, just running up to the roots, using the V-Jolt, and that's it. I don't know why it just doesn't cut to back to Chris, but you actually have to go to the door and interact with the door before it starts the cutscene. Now Chris is going to get tossed. And we can see Chris's hair at the bottom of the screen poking out. Once we're in control, gonna leave and reset the room. And we are going to pause cancel. And it's exactly what it sounds like. As soon as I fire, I am spamming the pause button. That will reset Chris so he is in a neutral position, and then allows me to fire or move immediately without having to wait for him to finish his animation of actually pumping the shotgun. You can see the debris falling. And I'm trying my best to avoid that because it could be very annoying. And it can lead for some close calls. And I'm just waiting for it, so it'll give me a little bit more of an opening. But now that I want it to fall on me, it doesn't, of course. So I just start shooting. There it is. And Plant 42 is done. Grabbing the helmet key out of the fireplace. Now a fun little tidbit, if you do not grab the helmet key and you try to leave, it will give you a one-time camera angle where it's focusing on the fireplace.
We got to the root of the problem.
I just discovered that the other day when I was playing around with it. Never seen it before.
Really, thank you.
You'd do the same for me, wouldn't you?
I guarantee it.
Well, Chris, this is Richard's radio. We received communication from Brad at the courtyard a little while ago, but he is still flying around in the sky. He obviously couldn't hear our voices. Maybe his radio is broken.
I see. Understood. I'll keep it. We should somehow let Brad know we're here.
found a little while ago. I think I will be able to make something. Anyway, Chris, I'm glad you're safe.
Rebecca's going to hang out in the drugstore room. And she can provide some healing. And I just wanted to run in here to see what Chris would have to say about the chemicals. And of course, he can't handle them. But at least he does know what a faucet is. In the central corridor, we have Wesker.
Wesker!
Chris, you're alive.
My words exactly. Where's Jill? Aren't you with Jill?
I'm sorry. We were attacked by a strange monster. I lost track of her while we were scouting around. I hope she's okay.
I see. Well, it's not your fault. This place is crazy. If we stay here, all of us will end up dead. What should we do, Wesker?
We have to complete this mission. Whether we escape or stay and look for Jill, we don't have many bullets left, and we can't even protect ourselves. We're still in trouble. Chris, there are a lot of locked rooms in that house. Check them out one more time. There must be a place to hide safely. I'll look around the house a little more.
Okay.
Let's get going.
Wesker can speak for himself. We are stacked with ammo. And I'm just stepping on these bees for fun. These hornets. These giant murder hornets. Or are they wasps, technically? I forgot what they technically are. We got the radio from Rebecca, but we're not actually going to interact with it. It just gives us optional cutscenes. And we're running back to the mansion. Other than the adders, which are very easy to dodge, there's no special movement, just running. The path is completely clear. Cutscene introducing the hunter. Introduce the shotgun to her. Then run down, aim, wait for her to get close. Usually takes 3. This time takes 4. We have the helmet key, so we can get into the study. And even though the red book is very bright and noticeable, you can't pick it up until you flip the light switch. There's also Magnum ammo in here, but that does not apply to us. The east stairway. Hunter. Waiting for her to come around the corner. This one only took 3. Wesker was kind enough to leave us some shotgun shells, handgun ammo, and a first aid spray. Just grabbing the Beretta. We'll be back down here in a minute to deposit what we don't need and organize our inventory. There are 2 hunters up here. The only one I need to take care of is that one. And a shooter in the back to aggro. And just wait. Because hunters, well, any enemy in this game, can't navigate stairs. But we can shoot things. Or at least hunters. For some reason, I wasn't able to hit a zombie when I was trying to do this with it. I don't know if it's just for hunters, but I do know it does work for hunters, as you just saw. Back to the save room, depositing the handgun and the Doom book, which has the Eagle medal in it. Going back up the stairs. In the lesson room, it is time for round 2 with Yawn. And we're not going to move. We're going to stay still. And we're going to pause cancel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. Yawn will strike, miss, and that will allow us to aim down for the final shot. If you shoot too early, then you need to shoot again, and you are very likely to get hit. Without pause canceling, the fight is significantly more difficult and way less consistent. The first underground passage, we got 2 Zeds wandering around. This one apparently does not want to be near Chris, trying his hardest to ignore us. That one took a little bit of time, so I reset the room just to make sure the other one wasn't coming from around the corner. And for some reason, Chris does not lock on until it gets closer. Not 100% sure why. So we just went manual with that one. The second underground passage. Nothing to do or grab here. Well, a couple green herbs, but obviously don't need those. In the kitchen, there's a small key over there. We don't need that either. Got a landmine here. Sometimes he could take way more than 1 shotgun shell, but fortunately he only did take 1. You can get around him. I just prefer to gun him down for safety. Taking the elevator up to the 2nd floor. 2 Zeds in here. Only need to take out the first one, though. The large library. There are 2 more, but only need to take out the first one. Magnum rounds in here that are accessible with a small key. But hey, don't need that one either. And the Magnum is nice, but the shotgun is perfectly adequate. But that's the nice thing about this game. You can play it a lot of different ways. Some people like the Magnum. I don't want to deal with all the extra hunters to get it. In the private library, pushing that statue into the corner there to open up a secret area behind the bookcase, grabbing an ammo disc. That's the first of 3 for the best ending. In the closet to grab 2 boxes of shotgun shells. And the battery for the elevator in the courtyard. Taking the elevator back down to the basement. Now, if you're playing as Jill and you wait for Barry and he drops the rope, you can just run back to the lesson room because there's the rope. Chris can't do that, so we have to cut through the stairway here. This guy in the way, I'm electing to lure him and run around so I can save a shotgun shell. And that means Chris has to deal with a few more hunters than Jill does. In the tea room, running to the middle to make sure the hunter doesn't crowd us, and then running to Chris's left. Hunters are left-handed, so they only swipe with their left claw. And we can take advantage of that to get around them. In the L passage, the Cerberuses were replaced with web spinners, these giant spiders. Just running on through. As soon as the camera angle changes, we see that Hunter jump into frame, running into the bathroom to reset the room. And here's a little strategy I came up with. Luring the Hunter around into 2 attacks, giving us time and space to run around. And that actually cut very close because I got hung up on the corner. So that almost lost us the run there. But I found that trick to be fairly consistent. Grabbing this handgun ammo now, just to have some extra. I don't unlock all the doors with the helmet key. I would have to go through several hunters to get to that room, which has the red jewel, which would get us the Magnum, the Colt Python, which is also through several hunters. So I'm electing to skip all those so I don't have to deal with the hunters. With the battery and crank, we can now go to the caves. In the roofed passage, we have a hunter now. Same as before, running to Chris's left. Back at the falls area, putting the battery in place. Which means that we can take the elevator back up and then use the crank to fill the pool back up, which will shut off the waterfalls. Thought about equipping my shotgun, but then I realized I don't actually fight anything for a while. We go through the entire caves without firing a single shot. Back down the elevator. Then down the ladder into the underground. Or as I and many other people like to refer to them as, the caves. And I forgot the flamethrower was here. And I thought to myself, well, this is just going to lock the door, right? Yeah, it is. Is there really any point to getting the flamethrower on this side? And the answer is no, there is not. Through the generator room, into Enrico's room.
Enrico!
Don't come any closer, Chris.
Wait, what happened?
Double crosser!
Don't!
Hell. Umbrella.
Who is it? Is someone there? Double crosser? What did he mean by that?
I wonder. Obviously, he shot himself. We have 2 hunters coming in the room. Taking a wide angle to Chris's left. Dodge those 2 hunters. Generator room, rotating to the left and running straight along the wall. Thinking how I want to handle this room, this branched passage. I know there's a hunter. Forgot exactly where she's at. There she is, running by. The hunter's right to avoid the left claw. Back in the entry. with our shiny new hex crank. And we are through to the first boulder passage. Another flamethrower. This time we do have to pick it up because it will unlock a door on the other side of this area. Running up to the boulder and then back to the door. Running through, hugging the wall to Chris's left, dodge another hunter. Now we have Black Tiger. We're going to stand in front of the door, and as soon as the front legs hit the ground, we're going to run out of the way. And Black Tiger is going to take care of the webbing for us. Easy. Down the hall to the underground save room. We are done with the square crank. We need the Doom Book 1 to get the Eagle Medal out. And setting the flamethrower down so we can unlock the door here. The second boulder passage, using the hex crank again. This time we have to use it 3 times. And there's nothing hidden, so there is really no point to having to do it 3 times. That's just how it is. And up to the boulder, and then into the new side passage that we just opened. In this chamber, pushing the gargoyle statue, and using the hex crank, or at least attempting to, even though I'm pretty sure I was on the right spot. Using the crank to push out the wall, which will allow us to push the statue. And as soon as it makes contact with this pressure plate, it reveals the Doom Book 2, which has the wolf medal in it. Before we leave this back little alcove, where the boulder used to be, is our second MO disc. So we are 2 for 3. Taking the lift up to the fountain. Opening the books up to get the medals. The Wolf Medal, the Wolf of West. Goes in the slot closest to the elevator. And the Eagle Medal, the Eagle of East, goes on the other side. That drains the fountain and reveals an elevator, which will take us to the underground labs. Laboratory entry. Down the ladder. Got an item box. We are done with the hex crank. Going to grab the other MO disc. In the stairway, we have 3 Zeds. And another one who was repulsed by Chris, just doesn't want to get close to him. Third one's on the other side of the room, around a corner, resetting the room, to make sure that I don't get caught by surprise. There we go. We have plenty of shotgun ammo. And here is the third ammo disc on this desk here. Now we have all 3, which means we can get the best ending. Down the stairs to the O room. And I thought about going into the side room there, but then I realized I should go here to the small lab, open up the doors first. Umbrella really went hard on their branding here. Logging into Umbrella. Log in John. Password Ada. ADA. Trying to unlock B2. Permission denied. Password Mole. MOLE, not MOLF. That unlocks the visual data room on floor B2. And this unlocks the private room on floor B3. This has one of the terminals for us to use the ammo disc on. Done in this room. Now the corridor into the private room. There are 4 test subject Zeds in here. Not going for decaps. Just taking body shots. Usually takes 1, sometimes takes 2. We're playing it for safety. We are very close to the end game. We do not want to throw the run down. Using the ammo disc, getting passcode 1 or passcode 01. Again, using double digits for a single digit problem. Not as bad as the guardhouse, though. They were using triple digits. Three zombies in the way. But then I realized I need to go back upstairs and go into the visual data room. And those zombies respawn. So I did end up wasting a few shotgun shells. But not a big deal. Still had extra. And we still have the handgun, if worse came to worse. Pressing that switch, moving that pillar out of the way, gave us the power room key. So these 2 respawned. Using the lab key, or power room key. The elevator entryway. 3 Zeds, but there are only 2 that we need to worry about. In the operating room, box of shotgun shells, which is apparently very difficult to pick up. Now we need to push some more boxes. In a combination of the armor room puzzle and the guardhouse basement walkway, we are now pushing crates to cover up the vent holes instead of statues. And this time, as soon as anything touches the red button, like you walk over it, you push a box on it, you push those stairs over it, that will release the gas. I had a bit of a struggle with this one. I can't seem to remember the optimal routing for this room. And of course, when I thought I had the angle, I did not. I'm going to push this one over some more. First priority is getting the boxes to cover the vents. There we go. Up the steps, through the ventilation shaft, into the morgue, for the second passcode terminal, or MO disk terminal, whatever you want to call it. We get the second passcode. Unlock the door, back onto the old room, and back into the elevator entry. Got a one-shot on there, just going into the save room to reset the room. Make sure that he is gone for good. If you couldn't tell, the closer I was getting to the end, the increasingly careful I was getting. Now in the power maze, Chimeras, running up, waiting for the attack to be baited out before backing up to dodge it, then running forward, repeating the process. Chimeras can be kind of tricky, and that one got a little close to me. Resetting the room, running through to the second power maze area. This one is extra tricky, because the first one, we just had to flip a switch. This one, the third MO disk terminal, but there are 3 Chimeras in here, and the spacing can get a little tight. Considering, thinking, now let's reset the room and let's just run for it. Run to Chris's right, bait out the attack, back up. See, that one almost caught up to us. Hugging the left into the power room. This room, for some reason, is very loud, so I try to get in and out as quickly as possible. On the return trip, we're just hugging the right, and we're home free. With power to the elevator restored, any Zeds that were in the elevator entry are going to despawn. And I have plenty of shotgun ammo, but I just grabbed the handgun anyway for the Tyrant fight, just in case. And now we have a very long cutscene before the Tyrant fight.
Chris!
Rebecca, you're safe.
I saw you in the garden. I've caught up with you at last.
Well, I'm glad you're all right. Don't go out alone.
Yes, sir.
Chris, as my subordinate, you have wonderful talent.
I would never work for a company like Umbrella. And Wesker, you were formerly with Umbrella.
What do you mean?
Since when have you been an Umbrella agent? And a traitor to the stars?
Now you're wrong. I was formerly with Umbrella, yes. And now I'm prepared to face anything. Even getting rid of you vigilante stars.
Now, the worst possible situation has occurred. The failure of the experiment created a virus, a biological weapon, polluting the entire lab.
No, the worst happened with the Tyrant virus. I lost some of my STARS team members because of it.
You killed them with your own hands. Did you kill Enrico?
Really?
Yeah, like this.
Rebecca!
Don't move! If you do, I'll kill you. Chris, I have something to show you. Now, walk.
Is this?
That's right. This is the ultimate life form. Tyrant! Chris? Stop it.
Wesker, you're pitiful. This is your savior? You say this failure is your savior?
You can make sure yourself whether Tyrant is a failure or not. Go to hell. Jill will join you too.
What?
Don't come this way! No!
You can't kill me.
Oh man, Wesker sounds so pathetic, and Chris is just mocking him. So for the Tyrant fight, nice and simple. Run to the opposite end of the room. Shotgun. Pause canceling is optional. This one's a pretty safe fight because of all the distance. And we're just going to repeat that until Tyrant is done for. Hit the switch, unlock the door, and we're out of here.
Wow.
Ha! It seems like this bulletproof jacket is pretty strong.
I see.
How about Captain Wesker?
He is sleeping with the ultimate failure. Hurry up. I want to get out of here.
Excuse me, Chris.
What, Rebecca?
I saw a research file in this lab. It said that a great deal of research on the Tyrant virus exists right here. We should blow this place up.
We are already into it over our heads. Rebecca, can you do it?
Yes, sir. I'll set off a triggering system for a bomb.
Okay. Now we have a chance to escape. See you outside the house.
All right, Rebecca's going to get that set up for us. Now we have to go get Jill. There are two chimeras that are kind of in the way. They can be dodged, but I am playing it extra safe. And just getting rid of them. During my last attempt at this chimera jumped at me, just about got me. It didn't, but it got really close. That's why I'm playing it extra safe by taking it out. And for some reason, I don't know if it's because of the position that it's in, its stance, or what, but none of those shots were connecting. Just had to get a little closer, and I was able to take it out. Now, 14 shotgun shells left. We have the 3 passcodes. And now we can go to the cell and get Jill.
Jill, are you there?
Chris?
Jill, you're all right.
Yes. Wesker is here. He's...
Oh, I know. Anyway, let's get out of here.
Let's get going.
Now, all that's left for us to do is head back up to the entrance and then go out through the emergency tunnel. And that chimera got very close. 3 final zombies. Taking them out with body shots for safety. Don't need any ammo for the final fight, but keeping the shotgun just out of habit. At the end of the emergency tunnel, another battery. Putting that in place to power up the elevator.
There is 3 minutes until explosion. I made it! I set off the triggering system to the bomb!
Great! Rebecca, Brad's over the helicopter.
Look at those monsters!
Let me take care of them. Chris, get in contact with Brad right away.
Okay.
On the heliport, grabbing the flare so we can signal Brad. As a heads up, after I fire the rocket launcher, there will be a short burst of a flashing screen. Now the countdown timer starts with 3 minutes. With the cutscene with Rebecca and Jill. Takes quite a bit of time. And then running up here and setting off the flare. Even more time. So by the time Tyrant actually gets up here, almost half the time is gone already. Minute 36 and then some. So for Tyrant, because I'm not actually fighting him, I'm just running around, maintaining some distance. If I'm too far away, he's going to charge. If I'm too close, he's going to swipe. That's why I'm just kind of like stutter stepping, stutter running. And every 9 steps that he takes, he is going to do that particular attack. Raise the claw, lower it, and charge. And if we run up against his right arm, or even a little bit behind, he will run around in circles before swiping. Ultimate life form indeed. And we just repeat the process until Brad drops the rocket launcher. Less than 30 seconds left. There's 9. Okay. We can almost get the rocket launcher. And of course, he's in position right in the way. We need to lure him around one more time. Cutting it really close. But we're good. We got the rocket launcher. Going to equip it. Take a shot. Going to be a couple seconds of a flashing screen. And we're done. Roll credits. That concludes this no save, no damage run of Resident Evil 1 Classic. PC version, Chris, Original Mode, best ending, with a completion time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 54 seconds. Thanks for watching.